Hey everybody, welcome back. Hey all my clinical research professionals. What is today? Tuesday? It seems like it's already the end of the week. Wow. Time is flying by. But hey everybody, thank you for joining in. We are on day 22 of 30 over 30 with me, Jasmyn. And for those of you who don't know, I've been going live every day in the month of November covering a new aspiring CRA problem that I see between myself, my clients, people that are reaching out to me, all problems that we're all experiencing that are preventing or have been preventing us from landing our first CRA job. So I'm on day 22 now, and we are on problem number 22. And I want to hop right in. And don't worry if you're just now joining and you missed the first 21 days, it's okay because everything has been recorded and you can watch the replays on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Facebook. So, today's problem, resentment and anger. And when I say resentment and anger, I'm specifically referring to resentment and anger towards the companies. So the companies that you're applying to, the clinical research companies, the recruiters, the whole entire recruiting process, the whole entire hiring process for new CRAs. There's resentment and anger towards that process, the people involved in the process, the whole entire thing, right? And when I first started looking for when my CRA job, when I first started trying to get into the industry, I had a lot of resentment and anger, y'all. At one point, and this was right after I had got out of graduate school and I had my master's in pharmacology. So it was almost like I felt like I made a great candidate, not just based off of education, but then based off of my bench science research experience, and then also based off of what everybody was telling me. And I was not getting any traction. I wasn't getting any interviews, any callbacks, any of that. And I didn't understand why, because I saw people that were in the industry, people that were even referring me, and I know that I could do a better job than them. I knew it, right? And it was so frustrating, it was so devastating talking to recruiters, talking to people that were even, high up in some of these companies that I'm applying to, and they're saying that they can't do anything for me. So I started to develop this resentment, this anger, and it brought me to a really low negative place. And I had to take a pause and sit down and really think about how I was going to go from there, where I was going to go from there. How could I still achieve my goal? And it all boiled down to changing my attitude. And I had to switch over into gratitude, which is a solution to this problem, which is why I have gratitude up here. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, that's so cheesy. Like, of course, it's, you're going to say be positive. But how can you be positive at a time like that when you're so full of anger, resentment, all these negative emotions, right? And I'm not going to say that it's easy, but it is certainly simple and it absolutely can be done. I've done it. Thousands, millions of people have done it, not just in the clinical research space, but in every walk of life, right? So it really does take intentional thoughts, intentional feelings in order for you to make this shift. And I think it was like maybe day 3 where I covered stinking thinking and talked about how you can shift your mindset, your thoughts from the stinking thinking into the positive thinking, empowering beliefs, and the empowering thoughts. So take a look at day 3 if you missed that. But this all comes in together full circle, and that your thoughts and your feelings truly create your results. It creates your reality. And so you want to be intentional about those thoughts and feelings. And that's where gratitude comes in. And at first, it might be a little bit forced. At first, you're not going to be in the mood. At first, you might just really just say, oh my God, like I'm so over this. Because I did definitely in the beginning. But you'll start to see this change that really does take root and take place. That's so worth it. So going down to what I have here, your thoughts and feelings create or lead to your actions, which create and lead to your results. And when you think about that from a CRA job offer perspective, that's why I say you really have to be intentional about your thoughts. And some people might go back and forth and say your thoughts create your feelings or your feelings create your thoughts, which is why I put it this way, because I didn't want to get too caught up in the semantics, right? Whichever way you feel like works for you, thoughts to feelings or feelings to thought, both of these things lead to your actions and your results. So you have to be intentional about the thoughts that are creating the feelings. And when I say that, if sometimes negative things will pop up in your head, even to this day, they do for me. But I always imagine capturing those negative thoughts like a bubble, like the blow bubbles that, with the little stick and the blow bubbles that kids play with. I try to imagine like one of those bubbles just encapsulating the thoughts, covering it up completely, and then I just blow it away and replace it with whatever new thought I intentionally want to think. And it's practice, and it's not something that, oh my God, you're going to reach this level and you'll never have a negative thought again ever in life. No, that's not, at least I don't know anybody that's human anyways that can say that. So that's most likely, let's say, will not happen, but that's fine because you can still have the get the results that you're looking for without having 100%, negative thinking rate. So just start being intentional and keeping in mind that resentment and anger, that it only leads to negative BMS. And if you don't know what BMS is, go back to I think it was day 1 or 2, but earlier in the series I talked about BMS, which is branding, marketing, and selling yourself. So when you have this resentment and this anger, you start to give off negative branding, negative marketing, negative selling. You're speaking in a way as if you might feel entitled, or the anger is going to come out when you're having these conversations with recruiters and people are reaching out. You might already come off with a tone of, you're not going to hire me anyways, this is such a waste of my time. You might approach a conversation completely unconscious and unaware that you're even doing it, and not doing it intentional and on purpose, all because of the resentment and anger, because it breeds this negative environment, whether you're aware of it or not. And ultimately, the same thing for marketing. When you're putting yourself out there, maybe you're posting things on LinkedIn or other platforms, and you're the person that's posting things about, I'm so tired of companies not looking at me, or I'm never going to get a chance, or this. Maybe you're that person, or maybe you're commenting on other people's posts and you're saying those things, or you're co-signing some of the negative things that they're saying. But all of this comes full circle and creating this negative BMS, which will ultimately lead to no offer. Your results will be negative results, no offer. But if you simply make the switch to gratitude, like I have here, it creates positive BMS, and it will ultimately lead you to your CRA job offer. And it sounds simple, right? It is simple. We as humans overcomplicate things. I myself am the master complicator. So when I say this, I'm saying this, like I always say, it's not this empirical floating thing in the air. I'm saying this from personal experience. This is what I've gone through myself. So trust me, if I can make this gratitude switch, so can you. So what are some of the ways that you can make the switch? Well, gratitude journaling. So one of the things that I found to be very, very helpful is every morning or night, whatever works for you, but just putting down 3 things that you're grateful for and trying to not list the same 3 things. Within, I guess you could say, of course, some things might come up just naturally if you're consistently doing this for years, right? But at least not within the same month. Trying to list 3 different things every single day that you're grateful for. I'm grateful that I have a computer to do this live right now. I'm grateful that I can see. I'm grateful that I have my voice so I can speak and have this conversation with y'all, right? That's 3 things right there. And just do that every day and start seeing just how much you truly have to be grateful for, and that in and of itself will create a shift. Also journaling in general, journaling about your day, about the good things, about the bad things, about your hopes and dreams, your goals, everything. Journaling helps you to really get things out in a positive way. Prayer is something that I'm a big proponent of. I'm a very spiritual person, so prayer is always something that that I feel like anybody could truly benefit from, whether you're a spiritual person or not. If you just keep an open mind to the concept of prayer, it can really change your life. Meditating is another big one that a lot of people feel like are only it's kind of like only for own specific religions, but it's not. Or they might think that meditating is like something that you have to be like a really high level spiritual, like Buddhist monk type of person to be able to accomplish, and that's not true either. So meditating, if you aren't familiar with it, Google some places near you that can help you with the practice. And then also just quiet time by yourself, just having a moment of silence every day, even if it's just 2 or 3 minutes. But even if you have to lock yourself in the bathroom because your kids are constantly trying to ask you questions or ask you to do things, do what you need to do to get that quiet time. Yoga and Pilates are another couple of tools that really can help you get into this space of gratitude. Therapy. Sometimes you need to go to therapy and you need some professional assistance. I know that doing self-parenting work and inner child work and some other types of work as well. I was also in DBT, and for those of you who don't know, it's dialectical behavioral therapy. I've also done some of that work. But going into therapy and really taking a look at these things, and it all boils down to like boundaries and self-care and self-love. Going and getting some professional therapy, it can really open the door and open and really create an aha moment, several aha moments, for where you find out that your resentment and anger really might not even have anything to do with the job search process, y'all. Surprisingly, most and I venture to say and argue to say that every problem that we encounter, even though we think it's external, it's all internal. It's all an us problem. It's all an individual problem. If you work on self and if you focus on self, everything else is easy peasy. So therapy sometimes is the solution to how you can get to that space of gratitude. Maybe you need a life coach. Maybe you need a massage. Maybe you need a therapeutic. There's therapeutic massages out there. There's different facial massages. There's the reflexology, the foot massage. Maybe you need some type of massage. Maybe you need to start exercising and get some physical activity in your life. That can make a huge difference, because that in and of itself could increase all the positive hormones that and neurotransmitters that are in your body that's going to stimulate you and give you that feel good effect. Daily walking is something that I find really, really helpful and beneficial. And it's also good for our bodies and not just our mind. Hobbies. What hobbies do you have? Maybe you like to read. Maybe you like to go watch movies. Whatever the case may be, sometimes getting out and just having a little bit more fun is the solution. And then self-care. A lot of times, especially as women, we neglect ourselves. We put everybody else above us. Your kids, your spouses, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, your everybody, right? Your boss, your manager. You put everybody in front of you and you completely and totally forget about yourself. Sometimes you just need to take a pause. You need to take a moment and you just need to honor and respect yourself and listen to what self wants. So these are just a few things of how you can try to get into the space of gratitude and really shift from that resentful anger place into the self-care place. It really does make a huge difference, guys. Now, for those of you, and these are the type of things I want to add, these are the types of things that I also work with my clients. It's not just all about the hardcore technical strategies of branding, marketing, and selling yourself, but I also incorporate mindset things as needed, because it really makes a huge difference. If you are in the mental space, the mental capacity to have an energy of attracting positive things in your life, then it doesn't matter how much branding, how great branding you've done, how much great marketing you've done, how well you can sell yourself. That underlying negative energy level will always creep through, it'll always seep through, and somebody's going to always pick it up, and it's going to always create issues with you really achieving the goals, the dreams that you want, and having the success that you want. So keep that in mind too. So if you want more help with things like this and all the things that I've been talking about over the past 22 days, then check out my coaching program. It's a 6-month coaching program where I help clinical research professional women confidently land their first CRA job offer, struggle and frustration free, with no monitoring experience or CRA certification, all through teaching you mindsets, strategies, mindsets work, and how to brand, market, and sell yourself. So the program includes an initial onboarding call where we immediately, right out the gate, assess and revamp your resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn profile. So immediately after the first session, you'll have all that taken care of. You'll be ready to hit the ground running. You'll get 6 months of high-level one-on-one private coaching sessions directly with me, and we meet every single week. And you also get immediate on-demand access to my curriculum filled with all the frameworks, all the templates, all the checklists, essentially everything you can think of to land that you'll need to land your first CRA job offer. And then you'll also get direct messaging support from me so that we can communicate outside of the weekly coaching calls, if need be, of course. You get a bonus mock interview with a recruiter. You get bonus courses on negotiating a high-paying CRA job offer and fast-tracking your career once you land your first CRA job offer. You get a bonus CRA career plan and so much more. So if you're ready to confidently land your first CRA job offer, struggle and frustration free, with no monitoring experience or CRA certification or any of the other things that you think you need, then you can book a sales call with me to learn all about my one-on-one private coaching program and how I can help you. Just visit aspiringcra.com. So tomorrow is Wednesday. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Yes, I'll still be on. Yes, even on Thanksgiving, I'll still be on. I'll definitely for sure on Thursday try to come in a little bit earlier, but I want to keep this going every single day as I promised. Every single day in November, bringing a new problem to you guys. And for those of you who have questions or you're struggling with a problem now, please feel free to comment in this video or DM me with whatever you're struggling with, and I'll be sure to try to, if I can and you send it in time, I'll be sure to try to address it in this series. But if not, for sure during the Monday Aspiring CRA Q&A sessions. So as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful night.